Hello, it's Erin Ware, and I am going to take you on a little journaling journey today with me through all of my books. Not all of them, but a lot of them. I I needed to catch up in a lot of my journals and planners. Um, I had had a busy few days, a busy weekend, and I was just focused on other things. And so I was a little behind. And I took about an hour, like one session was an hour, and then another separate session later on in the day, about 45 minutes to do some different types of journaling. And I filmed it all so I could show you. And it's kind of all over the place, but I'm going to try to tell you what I'm doing. So this is not a normal day for me. This is a big like catch up day, and it's a little bit of a kind of a special treat to get to do this during the day. Honestly, I think it's this YouTube video that allowed me to take the time to do this. Otherwise, I probably would have pushed some of this back to like the evening when I am just like, after my kids go to bed, just trying to do some things for myself. This was like right smack in the middle of the workday, and it was really nice. So this is my work planner that I'm flipping through at the moment. It's a traveler's notebook, um, and then this is like kind of my artist notebook, for lack of a better. I mean, it's like where I keep track of my art, like the things that I'm focusing on, the subjects that it's more like wordy. It's not so much like a sketchbook, but it's like themes and things that inspire me and things that I've written, and I don't know. But anyways, I've started this project this year where I'm trying to read a lot more than I have in the past several years, especially of nonfiction books, and specifically a lot of the books that I already own. So I was in grad school about 6 years ago, and my son was actually born while I was in grad school. And then, like, so I read a lot. I learned a lot of good stuff, and then I left and had babies. I already had Felix, and then I had another. Had my daughter about a couple years later, and things just like changed. Things changed a lot with my brain and the types of things that I had energy for, and and then like some other major world events have happened, family events, other things have just taken me away from that type of reading and learning, which I actually like have always gravitated toward and I always have really loved. So I'm trying to get back on it. I I have read a lot over the last couple years, mostly just like fiction that is not that great. It's just pure entertainment fiction, which if you would have talked to me 10 years ago, I would have turned my nose up at it, and I would have been so snobby about it, about how I don't read that kind of thing. And I I'm glad I'm not so like snobbish. Like I've kind of been brought down a couple pegs. But I also like I feel like there's a place for that, but there's also like I want to be learning. I want to be reading the stuff that I'm really interested in, that stretches my brain and makes me think in different ways, and just generally, like, I don't know, sparks different thoughts in my in my mind. Also, my husband and I have a lot of books in this house, and there are a lot of books that I have not read yet. The way that we kind of do, we both are book collectors, so we'll keep books that we've read if we really love them. But often when we have finished reading them, we'll get rid of them because, like, if we don't see ourselves reading it again. And so we have books that we absolutely love, and then we have a lot of books that we just haven't gotten to yet. And a lot of those books, every time I see them, I'm just sad about it because I really want to read these books. and some of them at least. And so I have made a list for myself and a schedule, and I'm not doing a great job sticking to the schedule, but I feel like it has helped me to stay a little bit better focused on the books that I want to read. I have a bad habit of like picking something off the shelf because it looks really interesting, reading a chapter or even just a few pages, and then just dropping it because there's just too many to read. And I'm constantly picking up different books and stuff because I'm very interested. I mean, I love having that many books around my house to where I can just go and find something about what I'm interested in learning about. It's really an amazing privilege to have those books. But they get a little bit overwhelming when I have way too many things to read. So what I've done is I've made myself kind of a little winter spring, I guess, semester where I've got these books, these specific books that I'm going to read, and then I'll move on to the next like semester. Oh, sorry, there was my head. So I think having a plan has helped me because it's sort of like saying like, okay, now we're going to read these, but don't worry. We're going to get to those others, and it sets my brain at ease somehow that I don't have to scramble to try to read everything at once, but I have time, and I can, if I focus on one at a time, then I can move on to the next when I'm done. And I'm really bad. There's a very angry bird outside my window. I don't know if you can hear it. But yeah, it's been really helpful. So what I did is I kind of, on the page that you saw that I copied, I kind of wrote out all the chapters and the page count, like the page numbers, and estimate. That's the one that I'm unfolding. I wrote out the page numbers and then estimated based on like page numbers per week how many pages I could read in a week and like how long it would take me to read the book. And so that's what I'm writing down right now, is like this kind of loose schedule about when I should be finishing things. I can tell you that I started this like this year, like January, and I'm already about a month behind, which seems like very sad because we're only in in February. But I have read some, and I have been like reading a lot of fiction, and so I'm gonna kind of adjust some things. The next several weeks leading up to Easter is Lent, and I'm Catholic, so I celebrate Lent, and during Lent people give things up and kind of abstain from certain things or whatever. So what I've chosen is that I'm not going to read on my phone, like fiction on my phone, and that's like, it's sort of like what I do instead of Instagram, like instead of scrolling through social media, is I've found that I just like read like Kindle, like fiction books on my phone. They're very easy and accessible to get to, and I can lay in bed and read them very easily. But this is where I'm reading a lot of what I'm calling like fast fiction, like fiction that's just usually not very like deep or inspirational or even very good, but is just entertainment, and it keeps me entertained for a little while. But what I'm finding is that it's like eating a lot of candy. It just doesn't satisfy me. Long term, I just feel like I am tired. I'm just tired of only reading that type of book. And so I've decided that I'm just not going to read on my phone for, I guess it's about 6-7 weeks Lent. And during that time, I'm going to focus more on reading physical books, and some of those physical books will be part of this like syllabus type thing I've made for myself. So it's an experiment, and it's fun. I mean, honestly, it is fun. I like to challenge myself. I'm just like a tired mom a lot of the time, so I don't always like feel at my best to conquer these sorts of things, but I am trying, and I feel like by trying, I am doing better than, I would without trying. So it's not like this big pressure situation. Yeah. But anyways, this part's a little bit different. This is 24 books to read in 2024 that I have physical copies of. So it overlaps with what I was talking about. Those books are on this list. And then some other, like the ones that I have ideas for in the coming months, like maybe summer semester, that they're in here too. And then I've picked like some fiction books that I've picked up lately, and some, I don't know, just kind of all the books that caught my eye. I'll probably add a few extras because I do kind of see as the year goes on, like maybe some of these won't stick out to me as much as some others. And so I'll kind of add a few just to play with. I'd really love to start reading more of my physical TBR because, well, like I said, I have a lot of them to read, and I am one of those people that just loves to buy books, and I have to really watch that. And I think for a long time I was feeling so overwhelmed by the amount of books that I had that I stopped buying books for a while. But then I started reading a lot more, and it's like the floodgates have opened, and I need to back off of that. I need to back off of the book buying and read more of the books that I have to read. And yeah, so that's this. So the next thing that I'm working on here is updating my mood tracker, which I will link below. It's by Essie, and I think on Instagram she might be Get This Life Together or something like that. I'm sorry, I don't know that off the top of my head. This is something I'm attempting. I'm not very good at tracking. However, I've been better at tracking this year than ever before. And I'm still toying around with different methods and still trying to decide if it is even something that I find helpful for myself. But I figured that I probably should give it a good solid 3 months before I give up. January, it didn't go well at all. February, it's not going much better, but I'm trying. I don't know. This journal, this is my personal space journal, and it's kind of just all about just what I want to do in my own personal space. So I can do whatever I want. And so I'm trying to track things and my mood and energy level along with my cycle and along with the moon cycle, because I just think that's interesting. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Jury's still out on whether I'll stick with it. And then in the beginning of the month, in the journal, in the monthlies, there's my reading tracker, which you saw earlier, and I just use color dots to denote the book, the different books. Each book gets a color, and I just stick the dots down for when I, read. If I've read that book that day, then I stick a dot down for it. And sometimes I update the page number I got to, or the chapter, or percentage, or whatever, if I'm doing it that way, like on Kindle or an audiobook. But most of the time I just put the color dot down just to say I read some of this today. And it's been a lot of fun, actually. That's one of my favorite things in this journal, is to update the reading tracker. I read pretty much every day. I rarely miss a day of reading entirely, So it's something that I can do every day that's a little bit like I don't know, it makes me feel good that I did that, I guess. I don't know. It's fun, and this is my personal space. So in the weeklies of this journal, which is the B6 Common Planner, Sterling Ink Common Planner, I use the weeklies for sort of a combination between gratitude and just kind of a weekly synopsis of things that happened. I try to keep it very positive. That's where the gratitude comes in. I feel like I started out trying to make it all gratitude, and then it veered more into memory type stuff. And I feel like that's okay as long as I'm remembering the good things and I'm happy doing it. I think that's what's important. I'm the type of person that if something is not fun, like if it's not work related and it's just because I want to do it, like it's something I just want to do for myself, if it's not fun, then I won't do it. And so I just have to keep this interesting, and making the pages look nice is a big part of that. And so that's what I'm doing. I think that's the rest of the video, is just me working on these weekly pages this past week and the current week. And so I'm going to leave you here. I don't have much else to talk about. I'll leave links below and let you know where things like my links, of course, but I've used some printables from some other people. And in this video, I use some from Courtney Diaz, and Journal as Alter gave out a freebie printable. I used that, and I don't know. I think that might be it for this video, but I always try to link those things below because I love, other creators too. And I'm just going to play some music and let you guys journal along with me for a little bit. Thanks for watching, and thanks for being here. Just peek to see if you're subscribed, and if you're not, go ahead and subscribe, please. I would really appreciate it. And I hope you have a great week. I'll see you later. Bye.